Hi guys, this is John Newton from John's Pipe Journey, and this is a video response to Piper Dave's bleed and feed video. First off, let me get going here. I'm using a radiator pipe that Garrett and Katie gave me from Smoke Snacks is their channel. Thank you again. I love this thing, and I'm smoking Boswell's Countryside in it. Thanks, Greg. Thanks, Greg. Okay. I have a tendency to overcomplicate things, so hopefully I won't. I did take some notes so I could remember things. We're talking about a butane lighter, which is liquid fuel that boils at a low temperature and causes pressure inside in a tank. So whatever boils develops a pressure. Once it equalizes, it can't boil anymore because the pressure is such that it's keeping it from boiling. But that pressure allows the gas to come out when you open the valve, and depending on what kind of gas you have, the valves are different sizes. Like a propane tank has a different valve than butane would. And so propane boils at like, I think it's like minus 20 something or 30 something, like it's really real low temperature. That's why you can use it in your house in the middle of the winter. You don't ever run out of gas. Butane, on the other hand, boils at only 30.2 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 1 C. And how that can affect you negatively. And I was assuming the Piper Dave is at roughly 7,000 feet above sea level. I just realized he's at 8,000 feet. So it's going to be more of a concern the higher you up. But at sea level, the boiling point of butane is 30.2 or minus 1. And there's a relationship between boiling temperature and pressure. Like water boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit at sea level. But if you get up at 7,000 feet, it's about 204 degrees. And at 7,000 feet, it's probably a little over 200 degrees Fahrenheit. And that would be equivalent to butane dropping from 30.2 to 29 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm assuming it's linear. I didn't check that. I just did the math. And that would actually help you. The lower the temperature for a lighter, the better. But the thing is, with pressure and boiling point, the lower the pressure or the least amount of force on top of the liquid, the easier it is for the liquid to boil away. That's how you can remember it. And so if you've got a lot of pressure on it, it's kind of holding it down and keeping it from boiling. So that's like a layman's way of looking at it. The other thing is that at high altitude, your oxygen levels are a lot lower. That could affect combustion. You might, one fix might be to lower, like this lighter right here has a little lever on it that you can change. It's right there. You can change the height of the flame, which is reducing the amount of butane that comes out. So at higher altitude where you have less oxygen, having less butane come out makes it better, because the ratio of like 14.7 to 1 oxygen to fuel at sea level gives you a perfect combustion. And so if your oxygen is lower, then you need to lower the amount of butane to keep that ratio better. So anyway, that's the notes I have for that. But let me just, can use this clear one. You can see the tank and you can see the liquid wiggling around in there. Okay, hope that, yeah, that's showing up because I can see like bubbles. Okay, so first of all, because I haven't talked to Dave, I wanted to talk to him to find out like what his issue is, because he says he's bleeding his butane lighters and refilling them every day. And this lighter is exactly the same thing as a refillable Bic lighter. So if your Bic lighter works fine and you can use it for 2 weeks up there, you should be able to, if the tank is the same size, this should work exactly the same for 2 weeks. It would be different because of how big the tanks are. Because I don't know how big, like I've never taken a Bic lighter apart, but a non-fillable butane lighter should function as well or poorly as one that you can fill. So that's one thing I wanted to, I kind of wanted to ask him about. Has he tried a Bic lighter and has the same problems? Because if a Bic lighter works fine, then there's another issue at hand, because this is the same thing. It just allows you, when it goes out, you can fill it up. So they're no different. And so I got the same bleeding tool that he suggested. You're right. You go on Amazon and you just type in butane lighter bleeder tool, and this will come up. And it's got 2 little holes at the bottom. You can see it right there, I think. Let me take my face out of it so that it'll focus. Yeah, I think you'd sort of see it. It's on each side. So when you're doing this, you want to point those laterally because you don't want to have it spraying in your face. That's a big no-no. So make sure you point those little holes away from you. And the other thing is, he had said somebody told him to bleed it this way. If you hold it up this way, the pressure inside this tank, when you open this valve, is going to be pushing pure liquid out. It's not going to be bleeding any gas off at all. So you do not want to ever do it this way. You always want to have it where the gas is up, because you're trying to bleed the gas off. And this is mostly butane gas, not air. When they're first made, the tank has got air in it, and then they put butane in it. Some of the air gets displaced, and there's still a tiny amount of air staying in there, but most of the time, because you're using it all the time, it's butane gas. So you just press this down, and you see there's no noise, but like the fuel is still in there. Can you see the fuel still in there? If I would have done it the other way, fuel would have started spraying out. So what I've done is I've lowered the pressure in here, but now, because it's above 30 degrees, this gas is, you can't see it, but this gas is boiling off and is actually causing pressure. Pressure is going to be building up in here. However, we don't care about that. We want to be almost no pressure, and then we want to add butane to it. So I'm going to get this thing up here so I can do it quickly. And if you have any questions, just text me or comment, and I'll try to answer them. Because this is the same thing, because I used to work with air conditioning. When you want to add refrigerant, you have a giant tank of refrigerant, you want to add it to a smaller tank. You don't have the tank upright, because if you connect it like this, you're going to be spraying gas into your other receiver. You turn it upside down, so all the liquid is down here. So liquid comes out the valve. So that's why this is always done upside down. You also don't want to be shaking this can, because you don't want this agitated. You just want pure liquid with the gas that has pressure above it, and it will go in like this. So the liquid is down here, and that's what you want to put in. if you want to put gas in something, have it this way and gas will come out. But I don't see any function for that, at least right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to bleed off any extra pressure that's built up, making sure those holes are away from my face. Okay. I don't know if you heard that, but that let off a big noise. Now, I just quickly stick this on here and you... Oh, shoot, I hope you could see that. I didn't pay attention to it. Can you see now that there's just a couple of big bubbles? That thing is completely full now. Except for that one bubble. Okay, I'm just too close. I'm having trouble because I want to look right straight in the middle of the camera and my lens is right here. So I got to look way over here, which doesn't make any sense to me. So if it looks like I'm looking off to the side, it's because of that. I'm looking straight at my face in the camera. But anyway, so yeah, see, I have to hold it way over here. So you can see this. I'll block my face out so maybe it'll focus better. There's one big air bubble in that. So you can see it completely filled up. And the reason why it did is because I took this tool and it had a bunch of gas right up to like this level was all gas up. I took this tool holding it upside down so that the liquid's on the bottom and the gas is on the top. So the pressure is generated by the gas. Liquids and solids don't compress. So the gas is what has the pressure in it. So I pushed this down and all that gas escaped out until the pressure equalized, which is 14.7 pounds per square inch at sea level. That's atmospheric pressure because you're always dealing with, you have atmospheric pressure all the time. So that's a relative thing, so we call that zero, relative pressure. So anyway, that's how you fill one of these things. Another trick, if you want to fill it, if you're having trouble filling one, is stick this in the freezer. And so now you've got, this is heated hotter, and this is cold, so it'll make the liquid go in there easier. I hope that helps. So you want to make sure you purge it this way with it up in the, upside down so the gas is up. And then you also want to fill it with the tank upside down so that the liquid is at the bottom and liquid's pouring into this. Because if you have it this way, or if you purge this way you're purging gas or liquid out. So that won't work. I mean, you're defeating the purpose because the gas is staying. That's the problem. If you have it upside down like this and you're purging it like that, the gas is still up there. So you didn't purge any of the gas out. All you did was expel a bunch of liquid that vaporized immediately as it came out. So it appears like it was gas, but that's actually liquid coming out. So anyway, I hope that helps. If you have any questions, please ask me because like I said, I tend to make things more complicated than they are. But the easiest thing is if a Bic lighter works where you are and you're having trouble with your butane lighter, say if you're high altitude. Oh, that's the other thing too, is why a butane lighter, and I'm the one that suggested to Davey get a Zippo lighter. A butane lighter, since the gas boils, or the butane boils at 30 degrees Fahrenheit, if it's like, say, 0 Fahrenheit out, or if like 18, 15, it's really cold out, that the liquid butane won't boil. So you will not get any gas pressure at all. So when you try to light it, nothing's happening because no gas is coming out because it's just staying liquid because it's below the boiling point. A Zippo, on the other hand, has a liquid fuel that has a wick that's inside. Well, mine's covered up, but inside here are cotton batting and a wick that's intertwined in there, and you fill that cotton up with liquid fuel. You can use it pretty much, that's one thing nice, you can use pretty much anything, but like the Zippo fuel is designed for it. So anyway, it's like a candle wick. It actually sucks up the fuel it's absorbed into the wick, and then actually goes up to this very top. So then when you spark it, it starts on fire. So it's not affected by being cold because there is no boiling happening or anything. It's just liquid fuel coming up there, and it's not relying on any kind of pressure. That's the thing. If something has to rely on a pressure in a tank, boiling point's important. If it's just capillary effect and a liquid fuel, it doesn't matter. So that's also why people that backpack at cold temperatures and stuff always have a Zippo lighter rather than, or something like that, rather than butane. So anyway, I hope that helped. If I think of anything else that might help, I'll try to make an addendum to this, but make sure you comment if something wasn't clear to you. And until we meet again, God bless. Thanks, Greg. The other thing quickly before I go, the Zippo is king outside. If there's the slightest breeze, butane blows right out. A Zippo lighter is designed to be windproof. So if I'm outside, I like butane. Some of them are a lot prettier, more fun to use, but so I always have a butane with me. Like one of my favorite ones I didn't take it out of my pocket, is like this style, it looks like, old fashioned. I love these, but like that's the thing is you light this up and then the slightest breeze blows it right out. And that's where Zippo comes in. So that's basically also why I told Dave to start using a Zippo lighter. And you also want to use a lighter. I might as well say all this stuff now. This has a lighter insert in it, and this didn't come with one. You can buy these lighter inserts online. And it's got a hole here. The other one, this sides are covered up and the hole is on the top and the flame just goes up, and that was for lighting cigarettes or a cigar or something. This one, because of the way it's like this, you can put it and hover it. You don't want to burn the top of your pipe, so you hover it right above it and you suck the flame in. Now watch. So that's why I would always recommend using a lighter insert. If you don't have a lighter insert though, the flame's coming out here. You don't want to ever turn it upside down, but you can tilt your pipe and tilt this, and it will work that way. I've done that before, and I've seen a lot of people do that. So, again, until we meet again, God bless.